we do here is go back.
Hey, hey, hey. What's happening? What's going on? What's happening today? How's everybody doing? Okay, well, let me get my, let me see here. There we go. There is. Okay. Oh, let me get some light on here so y'all can see me. There we go. How's everybody doing? You can catch the replay and catch this movie. Um, I'm just going to be up here to talk about this Lifetime movie. If you haven't seen it, go to Lifetime and try to see if you can catch this movie or find this movie called Girl in the Cellar. It's a Lifetime movie. And I don't normally watch a whole lot of Lifetime movies that often. I just don't be catching them. But this one caught my attention. So I had to drink a little bit of wine here. This one caught my attention. And I just said, I got to come up here and just talk about it. So if you might be catching this on the replay later on, and that's fine. But I'm going to get on in here and talk about it. And I'm going to see what y'all think about it. Because I think this was kind of on the crazy side. Okay, so let me get my screen up here. Okay, so it's a Lifetime movie. Came out. Let me see, get my notes here. It came out August 23rd of 2025 this year. And I know I'm late talking about it because some people have already talked about it. But this story is about a mother named Rebecca West, and played by Kyla Pratt. Everybody knows Kyla Pratt from multiple shows she's been on. You know, her resume is so long. She's a child star. She's been acting since she was probably 5 years old, all the way up until now, still doing it. You know, you can catch her do the voice of Penny Proud on the Proud Family on Disney Plus. Look, she's on a number of things, so I'm not gonna go through her whole resume, but everybody loves her. She's wonderful. So anyway, the mother's name Rebecca, and this story is about Rebecca and how she imprisons her teenage daughter. And her teenage daughter is named Lory, played by an actress named Kelsey. Now I hope I am not butchering this lady's name. Is Mawima. Okay, that's the last name, Kelsey Mawima. So anyway, Lory is a daughter, and she imprisons her by locking her up in a cellar after discovering that Lory has a secret boyfriend. And Rebecca's actions have now driven up her traumatic past. At one point, Rebecca was held captive in the cellar by her own father and mother. So, I guess she calls herself trying to discipline her daughter, but she ended up doing the same thing that was done to her. So, this whole movie explores themes of abuse, manipulation, and the cycle of family trauma. So, if we don't deal with our traumas when we are young or at some point in our life, those traumas will come back to bite us in the booty. Okay. It happens each and every time. So that's really what this movie is about. So I'm gonna just get through it and get into it so we can get through it. Let's see. Oh, hold on a second, y'all. Okay, so we start off with Rebecca, um, being Rebecca is the mom, and she's watching her daughter Lory at the track meet or track practice. And, well, I don't think it was a meet; it was like practice. And then she's talking to one of the other moms, and she finds out that Lory um, is not captain anymore. She had no idea. And all along, while Lory is warming up and trying to do her track practice, she's being eyeballed by her secret boyfriend. Um, oh Lord, I didn't forgot his name. It'll come to me in a second. By her, by her secret boyfriend. I can't remember what his name is right off the top of my head, but it'll come to me. And so then she's one of these overprotective mothers, as we can see. We can see that she's definitely a overprotective mother. So I can already tell just from the first um scene that this is not gonna be it's not gonna go good. So she so Lory and the boyfriend started talking about going to the prom. And of course she gotta try to, you know, make up a story because her mother doesn't want her to have a life outside of her. Her mother says, oh, we're best friends, and she doesn't want her to have she doesn't want her to have any type of life. Like because Rebecca didn't have a life, she doesn't want Lory to have a life. And and she's like she's kind of have an erratic behavior. But I think Lory she just probably feels like, well, this is just my mom. It's just how it is. And she probably doesn't try to, argue with her or fight with her about it. Um, well, and then she hadn't told her mother yet about that she's not the captain of the track team yet. Um, she felt like she probably don't want to tell her mother this information just yet. Well, by the time she gets home, her mother is confronting her about it, and but she didn't think that her mother was confronting her about the track team thing. She thought she was confronting her about uh, going to the prom. She said, because she said, okay, I've given you plenty of time to talk to me and you haven't talked to me. And she's thinking it's about the prom. So she's all excited. It's like, oh, I've been invited to go to the prom with the boyfriend. And she was like, the prom, the boyfriend, she had no idea. She was thinking it was about the whole track situation. Well, little did she know, little do Lory know, from this moment on, it just gets worse. Okay. Um, okay, so then she Lory got upset with her, told her to go to her room. And but then later she comes back, they apologize. She apologized. She explains to her why I don't want you telling me lies. You can be honest with me and talk to me. And I guess that's probably what she had in her past with her family, that they wasn't honest with her and didn't talk to her. So that's probably why she wants that so bad. No, for her daughter. Well, she she ends up showing her the red dress that she's going to give her to wear to the prom. And she said the only condition that you can go to the prom, I have to be there to chaperone. And first she went her home by 10:30. And she said, Mom, it is prom night. And she said, okay, 11:30. Right. Please, prom night. I ain't come home until it was wee hours in the morning when I came home. It was wee hours in the morning. So but I didn't have a parent like her, like Rebecca either. So um well, so now the boyfriend, and I cannot remember this boyfriend's name, but the boyfriend, he he been, he's throwing little pebbles up on the window at her bedroom window. She comes sneaking down to come outside to give him a kiss, and they're talking about prom, and he's gonna get the hotel room and the whole thing. And then she ends up sneaking out to go out to a party. Okay, she snuck out to go out to a party with with her friends and the boyfriend. And when she sneaks back in the house, her mother is sitting there waiting for her. Now I understand this as far as the mother, as a parent, like you don't be sneaking out and come trying to come back in the house. Now you can't be doing that. We will have some problems. Okay. And so especially she told us that now you're not going to the prom, now you're gonna be grounded. The prom is in like 2 days. So she said, now you grounded, you can't go to the prom. Um and all this, so and then she found out she got her phone. Rebecca got Lori's phone, took the phone from her, and found out that they was gonna go to a hotel. So now she's really getting really, really upset now. Oh, and the one another thing going back that I forgot to mention, that Rebecca found out from Lory that Lory wants to go to California to go to college. She doesn't want to go to state college and stay there with her mother. Her mother said, no, you're not going away to California. You're not leaving me. You're going to stay here, stay at home, and go to school here. And that way I can keep an eye on you. And she keeps saying, we're best friends. We're best friends. She will not let Lory live her own life. She's trying to live Lory's life for Lory. So she calls herself trying to, I guess she calling herself trying to, at this point, trying to teach her a lesson, and a lesson that was done to her back when she was a child. And she took her to this look like an old barn or farm or something like that, and where it was a cellar. And she tell her, oh, you're not going to track practice today. I need you to put some old clothes on and put on a sweater because it's going to be chilly. And I need you to help me do some work. So when she gets there and she see this cellar, she's like, what is this? And she keep on just telling her, oh, it's just I need you to help me, clean up and do some stuff at this her old family's farm or land or whatever they had. So which they get down inside that cellar, which Lory should have never gone down in that damn cellar. When she get down in that cellar, she told her, she said, look, you've been lying to me. You've been lying to me about, the boyfriend's name is Austin, right? I think it's Austin. It just came to me. You lied to me about Austin. You lied to me about going to California. You just want to leave me. You was trying to go and hook up on prom night and all this. So she was just acting crazy. So she was acting crazy. So she ends up leaving her down there and leaving her with a bag full of, she said, I got some snacks and some water, some sandwiches for you. And you'll be all right for 2 days. Well, it was just supposed to be 2 days. She had a camera watching her. She can see her from her her laptop. She could see her from her cell phone, and she had her down there in the dark with a lantern and a bag of water and some snacks and sandwiches. Oh, she had some it wasn't even sandwiches. It was what you call it, it was like camping food or something like that. That kind of like that freeze dried fruit food where you pour water over and eat it. And so she gave her a bunch of mess and so to eat. And she was only gonna supposed to keep it down there for 2 days. And 2 days went way too long. Well, anyway, so she was watching her through the cameras and everything. Um, so as time went on, she's steadily watching her through the cameras. Um, Austin comes to the house to try to, talk to her, talk to Lory. Um, Rebecca calls the police, makes a report that somebody's trying to trespass, and Lory's just stuck down in this cellar, right? And now it's been a couple of days now. No, at least it's at this point it's probably been at least 24 hours now at this point. And so now we got Rebecca with another group of mothers, um, Lori's classmates and mothers, and they were talking about the prom, and a lady with the red hair saying, "Yeah, but that's why I make sure I give my son a condom, and just in case things happen." And Rebecca was like, "What? You do what?" And she said, my Lory is not going to be doing this. My Lory is not going to be ruining her life like one of them other girls did who ended up having a teenage pregnancy. And she said, well, and these other mothers was offended by it. And then she got offended when the redhead mother said, well, you a single mother. Can't you relate? She just doing the mothers is doing the best she can. And why did she say that? She was highly upset with this lady, so at this point though, nobody knows Lory is missing. She's telling people that Lory's sick. So he go to prom. So there's at least been 2 days now she been down there. So um she so it's been at least 2 days she been down there. Everybody's looking for her. The boyfriend's looking for her friend, her best friend's looking for her. She now wearing the dress that she's trying to live Lory's life because she didn't have a life. She was stuck down in the cellar. She didn't have a life. Um, she was abused by her family. So, you know, so she called herself wearing the prom dress, going to the prom as if it's her prom. Like I said, she's trying to live Lory's life. Well, this guy here, the boyfriend was like, he kept calling her, calling her. He just wasn't taking no for an answer as to what happened to her. He takes it upon himself to go over there. He breaks into the house through the garage to try to find where Lory is, and he sees Lory is gone. Her bedroom is empty, and she's not there because she kept telling everybody that Lory was homesick with the flu. And then he came back to report to her and said, look, Lory's gone. And she said, you broke into my house? And he said, yeah, well, I was just worried and I had to go check on her. Well, he goes to the police station. And of course, Rebecca now is there because she needs to hear everything that's going on. She want to know what's happening. So they talking to the detective and saying that, look, Lory saying that Lory said she was gonna come to the prom with me, and I haven't heard from her. I haven't seen her. The mother saying that she's sick, but when I went to the house, she wasn't there. So they gonna look at it as a missing persons case. She's telling everybody that she ran away to California. First she said she was sick, but then now she's saying she probably ran away to California. So now at this point, she's saying that, look, unfortunately, now she's looking at the cameras and telling her just like the next day, unfortunately, you're gonna have to stay down there for a little bit longer. Because Lory was like, Mom, I'm so sorry. Mama, I'm so sorry. I learned my lesson. I learned my lesson. And she said, look, you're gonna have to stay down here just a little bit longer because I got to figure out how to I got to figure out how to look like you ran away. And hey, like I said, this mother's crazy. The mother is she's batshit crazy. Okay, so now they putting up posters and stuff. Lory West is missing. Call this the 800 number if anybody knows anything. She's sitting there. Just now the lie has gotten so big. She thought that she could just keep Lory away from the prom for about 2 days and keep Lory away from Austin. But 2 days, after 2 days, it got out of control. Now they got missing posters around. The media is involved. The friends are involved. Everybody's involved. She goes into Lory's closet. She pulls out um a dress of Lory's, puts on Lory's clothes, and then goes out to the you know goes out because she see the reporters outside. So she wanted to go out there to talk to the reporters. She get a knock at the door, and then she sees Austin, and she said, "Oh, hey Austin, what you doing here?" Because she didn't like Austin at first, because she didn't want anybody that's going to take her Lory away from her. Lory is hers. That's how she feels so possessive over her. Lory is mine, and she don't belong to anyone else. But he was like, "Look, it might be a good idea if we get have the public help us try to find her if we work together." So she goes out there and she starts talking to the media, and she said, "Anybody who knows Lory, please come and help us." And so I guess they feel like the police are not doing enough, so let's get the media involved. And she's sitting there lying, knowing that she is she's the one who kidnapped her own daughter, knowing that she's the one who kidnapped her own flesh and blood. But now, how you start a lie, now you got to keep it going. Well, she she's still watching her through the surveillance camera, talking to her through the surveillance camera. And she said, "Mama, please come and help me, please." And Lory's don't have no food to eat. She's eating this nasty, freeze dried, astronaut food or camping food. And she was like, "Please come and help me, please come help me." And but at this point, Rebecca is deep in the boo boo, so she has to keep this lie going. Um, and I think if for a few seconds, I think she was concerned about letting her daughter stay down there this long, but she knows she got so deep into this lie that she can't get up out of it now. So, but I just said for a few seconds because she was like, "Well, if you hadn't lied to me and you lied and if you hadn't been lying to me, none of this wouldn't have happened." Well, she gets a text from somebody saying, "Oh, turn on the TV. You're all on TV." And she is so happy with being on TV. And she feels like now she has a purpose. Like you could see she went from almost from angry to like her she just looks she went from angry to all of a sudden now like, "Oh wow, that focus is on me. It's not on Lory anymore." But Lory is still down in that cellar suffering, in the cold, dark cellar, still suffering. And then a month has went by now at this point. So they still got the old flyers up, missing the missing persons posters up, and she's still, looking at her through the cameras and checking on her so she knows she's alive. And she's talking to the detective, and the detective said, "Look, right now there's no leads, there's nothing, no activity going on right now, but we're not done with the case, but if anything should happen, we will inform you," so on and so forth. Well, she told her, so she come to the cellar, and she was bringing down a pad and a pen so she can write a letter stating that she ran away, and uh so she can try to, I guess, so she can try to use that to get the scent off of her, or off, for the police and for the media. So that way she can say, okay, this girl ran away, and I got proof of this. And because Lory wants to get out of this hellhole so bad, she writes the letter. She got the letter and she read, and this is, this is a fake letter that, Lory had to write it so that so look, she gonna do whatever her mother tells her to do so that she can get up out the situation. Well, one of the classmates' mothers came to one of the other schoolmates' mothers, I think it's Lory's best friend mother, came to the home saying that she was invited to speak to other survivors and victims of children people have been abducted and all this kind of thing. And so now they looking at her like a person who is um could give advice and help and whatnot. And I'm like, this lady has, she is just like, one thing I say about her, she's standing on this lie. She is definitely standing on this lie. So she balls up the letter that's behind her back. And so the letter never gets out. Nobody ever sees the letter. And so at this point now, she feels like her life got a purpose. She said, thanks to you, my life now has a purpose. And I'm moving on. And she leaves her another duffel bag full of other, water and more of that camping food, that nasty camping food. And she has no intentions on helping her daughter. Well, also started coming around, and look how she started dressing real sexy now with a tatas out and everything. Also coming around, he started cutting the grass and cleaning up the yard and doing work. He said, "Look, I feel like right now I just need to be close to Lory, and look, you don't have to talk to me," because he always felt the mother didn't like him anyway. Well, she didn't like him, but let me come around to. I just need something to do because right now I'm just going out my head crazy worried about Lory. Well, she goes in and let him do it. She gives him a list of things to do. He started fixing this and fixing that and doing the yard work. She gives him, she watching him with his shirt off, gives him iced tea. And all along, Lory's still trapped down in the cellar. And and I didn't say this, y'all. This is supposed to be based on a true story, or I guess loosely based on a true story. So, um, but I didn't read about the real story, but I did hear it's supposed to be loosely based on a true story of somebody who was, you know, who was trapped in a cellar like this. But anyway, so Alton just being nice, and he said, "Let me fix your plumbing," and then he sees a whole box of this food that he said, "Oh, what's this for?" And she said, "Oh, that's for camping. Lory and I was going to go camping before, you know, she was missing. We were going to go camping, but she had like this big box with like a month's worth of this freeze dried food. I call it like astronaut food. That food that you got to add water to it, and or like camping food. Um, so he coming around. She's starting to be kind of flirtatious with Austin. He's trying to fix the pipes, and he gonna fix her pipes all right. And but anyway, it's a storm outside. He comes inside. She making tea. She made dinner for him. And next thing you know, the lights had went out. They lighting candles. Next thing you know, she rubbing on his leg. And the next thing after that, they get the kissing and humping and bumping, okay? Bumping and grinding. And I'm like, okay, come on, Austin. You supposed to be the boyfriend to Lory. You supposed to be worried about Lory. You supposed to be concerned that she's missing, and you was coming around the mother's house just so because you need feel like you need to be close to Lory, and next thing you know, yeah, of course she kissed him first, and she started flirting with him first, but then he allowed it, and he started sleeping with the lady. Okay, so yeah, I'm done with him after that, and um she's still talking to her daughter through the camera. She been in there now. It's been way over a month. She's sweaty. She's hot. She's hungry. She's dehydrated. She probably losing pounds every day, and she's already slim, and then she's skin and bones now. And so, Rebecca is just like, this is for your own good, and had you not lied to me, you wouldn't have been down there. But now my life has a purpose. My life is for being fulfilled thanks to you. I mean, I just said, oh, this mother's crazy. Okay, Austin, he landed up in the bed. He done spent the night. I mean, where's his family? You know, I mean, they was just going to prom. So you ain't grown yet. And you ain't graduated high school. If you was just going to prom. So what where's his family? I had questions about that. Like, you just stay out all night and spend the night. And yeah, but I guess this is not Austin's story, but it was just weird. And so she's sitting there, Rebecca's sitting there reading all these letters and cards and notes that people's like, oh, you're the bravest. Oh, I'm here for you, praying for you. And she loved all this. She loved all this attention because she never got that in her life. And so then she asked Austin, "You gonna stay for dinner?" He's coming over. He's well he's leaving that morning. He spent the night after they had bumping and grinding all night long, and he was leaving. But he said he'll be back to help tighten up her other pipes, because he tightened up one pipe, but he tightened up her other pipes. So that's leaking. So she said, well, I'm gonna make lasagna. I want you to stay for have lasagna. So he left that morning, and the detective was watching him from across the street. She was watching Rebecca's house, and she seen Austin leave out the house early in the crack of dawn. And like, why are you there? Why are you spending the night over there? And here go Lory, still stuck down in the cellar. And I feel bad for Lory. It's horrible. It is horrible. And she's asking the detective, "What you doing here? Why are you here?" I'm like, who would ask something like that when it's your um daughter that's missing, when it's your child, son or daughter that's missing? Why would you ask the detective, "What are you doing here?" You're here because um obviously they came to check on you and to let you know that we still working the case. Hey Tamika, what's going on? You still haven't had a chance to watch it, girl. It's crazy. It's a crazy story. Hey Michelle. Yes, yeah, I did hear it's based on a true story, or I guess loosely based or something. And then also it was a book I heard too. That's just what the people were saying as I was reading up about the story. I think somebody wrote a book, but I think it is based on some true events that happened. So uh yeah, this story was just crazy. So she's still watching her daughter through the laptop, and from the phone and laptop. She was supposed to be in the kitchen making lasagna. She burned up the lasagna. Is all and everything. She started burning up the kitchen was all smoky. And Austin came back because he came to fix the leaky pipes up in the bathroom upstairs. And when he goes upstairs, she forgot because Rebecca left the laptop sitting open, and then that's when she realized that the lasagna was burning, so she ran downstairs. When it also came in, he goes upstairs to try to fix her pipe that's leaking or whatever's going on in the bathroom upstairs. She left the laptop open, and with the laptop on, she can hear Lory coughing. She can hear Lory talking and saying things, and she see that Lory is trapped in this trap somewhere. He don't know where it is, but he see that she trapped and kidnapped somewhere. So then she remembered that she left the laptop open. She come haul assing up the steps. But then Austin was quick on his feet and fast. And he went on and hurried up and ran into the bathroom like he was fixing the pipes and stuff. But he know that something is not right, so he took his ass up after he left her house. He took his ass over to the damn police station, talked to that detective again, and Lory's still there. Lory is just sitting there miserable, like when she's skinning bones at this point, hungry, tired, hot, cold, everything. I mean, this lady is just a crazy mother. Like but she been through a lot of trauma. So when I say crazy, I don't mean crazy in a sense that, I mean, she is still crazy, but I understand why she is crazy because she also went through a lot of trauma. That doesn't give her an excuse as to why she did this to her daughter, but that's the reason why it happened. So the detectives are now trying to put all the pieces together. Austin tried to tell her about that camping food, and then she got stored up a whole bunch of camping food. And to make a long story short, they did start trying to they started putting the pieces together and realized that she had her daughter kidnapped. Well, she up in the church singing this little what she said, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. And she up there singing this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. And soon as she said that, let it shine, the police come right up in there and put the handcuffs on her ass. Put the handcuffs on her ass, and and took her up out of there. And then look at this, the mom, one of one of Lory's friend's mom, and she was shocked. She was like, "Oh my god!" And I mean, I'm gonna tell you, Kyla Pratt, she played the hell out this role. She played Tamika. I know you said you didn't get a chance to look at. Kyla Pratt played the hell out this role. It was so, it was like I couldn't stop watching it. I couldn't stop watching it. It was just like, oh my god, what is this lady doing? But y'all know how Lifetime movies are. All of them is crazy. All of them is somebody killed somebody, kidnapped somebody, underlined somebody, did something to somebody. You know what I mean? Did the R word to somebody. You know how Lifetime movies are. So this is a typical Lifetime movie, but it was just interesting. So now she's arrested. She's at the police station. They know she did something to her daughter. And seeing that all the time that Lory was down in that cellar, she found diaries and all kinds of information. Well, it was a lot of diaries because of when Rebecca was down there, and she's got pictures of her, how she was, how she looked back then. And so she realized her mother was also down there. Her parents had also locked her away. I think it was particularly her father who did it, but I think the mother just as well was involved. Or did nothing about it, but I think it was her father who's supposed to have locked her away. Well, this detective wasn't having it, and she knew it was more to the story. She started doing some investigation. She found out that her parents had been unalive, burnt up in the fire at this barn, or this farmhouse. And turns out that she had been locked away in a cellar as well, so she knew it was some trauma there from Rebecca's past. She put this detective put two and two together, and found Lory in the cellar. The EMTs came, they got her up out of there. I mean, look, she was in there. It looked like I know she was dehydrated. I know she needed all kinds of IVs. Well, we're at the end of this. And look, she was in there for 6 months. Okay. It was supposed to just be 2 days to teach her a lesson, which is 2 days is still too long. You should never lock nobody up in no damn cellar. Okay. No, 1 day, 1 hour is too long. But she had her in there for 6 months. She ran with this lie. She had everybody in town feeling sorry for her. She was getting all kind of letters from people and all kind of sympathy from people, from the from the media and from people, and had the media like thinking that the mother was the mother and Lory were victims and of missing person, somebody abducted her or something to that nature. All along, she is the one who locked her own mother up, and it appears that they're gonna give her a life sentence for doing this. And so I guess Lory maybe is going to be now being with this her best friend, which we never did get catch the best friend's name, but I guess she's gonna be with her best friend and her mom because she don't have her because she don't have a father, because apparently her father, they said, was unalived in a car accident. But who's to say that Rebecca didn't unalive her own husband? Okay, and so she could have unalived her own husband, and because we found out she unalived her parents. She took them out because they had her trapped in the damn cellar. So the very thing that was done to her that she didn't like, she did to her daughter. So for 6 months, she had her daughter locked away like that, like an animal. You don't even lock away an animal like this. Okay. And then now she did that, and she gonna get a life sentence. And so that is that on that. I mean, it was a crazy story. Yeah. Oh, is it? Yeah, it's a crazy story of Tamika. It really is. But Kayla, she played the hell out that role. Um, Not this little, like, yeah, she did. She was in there singing that. I'm not joking. I'm not joking. She was in there singing "This Little Light of Mine," knowing that you was in there having your damn daughter kidnapped. Okay. This sounds similar to The Girl in the Closet, the one that was based on true story too. Yeah. Oh, majority of these, I mean, some, not all, but a quite majority of the Lifetime movies over the years, most of them have always been based on somebody's story. It's been based on some true events. They might throw some different things in there, as we know, but that's usually how it go. And yeah, I didn't see The Girl in the Closet, but I'm gonna check that one out too. I'm gonna watch that too. Hey, Miss Niecy, how you doing? So that's all I got on that, y'all. I wasn't gonna be up here that long because the movie is an hour and 20 minutes, so it's not that long. Y'all can catch it if you got the Lifetime app. They have it right now, where you can watch it for free. Now, how long they're gonna keep it that way, I don't know. But if you can download the Lifetime app, you can watch it for free. That's how I looked at it, because I don't have Lifetime on my TV. Um, but I watch the stuff on the app, when I can. So that it's like an hour and 20 minutes. So it's one of them quick watches. I was watching it while I was working one day this past week. So y'all can get through it real fast. Anything y'all got going on, Tamika? I know you probably got some stuff going on this evening, right? So y'all go over there to Tamika's page, because she be always dropping videos and doing stuff. I think they probably get together with EJ or something later on this evening. I think y'all still doing that. That was the BT show. The Lord, I can't even think of it now. But y'all know what I'm talking about. Um, y'all know the show I'm talking about. But anyway, yeah, Tamika, she got the probably the Love After Lockup, some other stuff over there. Um, this week, let me see, I've been going back. Oh, I know, I've been going back, and we just started going back and reviewing or rewatching Snowfall. So this past Tuesday, Amina, myself, and Detroit, we recapped season one. We talked about all the season one. So now we're going to be talking about season two, but that's not this week. We're going to talk about it next week. Um, we're going to do season two. So if y'all are into Snowfall and y'all want to do we just going to do it like a throwback nostalgia on Snowfall and break that on down. Because I didn't recap it when it first came out. I didn't have a channel at the time. So that's what we doing. And then, but this week, Reasonable Doubt comes out. And so I plan on recapping that on Friday. I think I got it set for 8:15, but if I can't do it Friday, it'll definitely be Sunday. Right now I have it scheduled for Friday. This Friday the 19th at 8:15 p.m. But if for some reason something happens on my end, I will put it in the community tab and let y'all know that I'll move it to Sunday. So I'm looking forward to Reasonable Doubt. So I'm looking forward to that. Um, I actually need to go back to Mika and watch the last maybe 2 episodes of the season, of the last season, just to refresh my memory. Um, so I may have to go back and watch the last two, like at least last 2 episodes of the last season. But that's what I got going on. So y'all will see me, and I'm sure that if Moochie got something going on, she'll have me up on her channel as well. I think we got some gossip that she want to talk about. And there's other things on my channel that if y'all didn't get a chance to see, y'all go back and watch. But I appreciate y'all. I got my meatloaf in the oven, and I got to go and get that thing out the oven because I ain't trying to burn my meatloaf the way Rebecca burnt her lasagna. And I make my mashed potatoes and stuff to go with it. So that's what I got going on. And oh yes, yes, looking forward to Reasonable Doubt. Yes, yes, me too, and me too. So I don't know if we're gonna do a round table panel on that, but I'm still gonna do my own recap on my own. But if we do a round table, yeah, y'all let me know. But anyway, y'all, I'm gonna get on out of here, and I will see y'all whenever I drop my next video. Love y'all. Bye.